Hi guys, Paul here from PA Brew News. Didn't do a beer yesterday, I was going to, but had different plans. So this has been sitting out for a little bit. As I said before, I'm going to try to keep my crowlers and growlers and whatnot in the fridge so they can keep until I get to them. But this is sat out for about 2 days now, just, obviously it's probably going to be a little carbonated and what so, not blah blah blah. But this is from the Box Car Brew Works from Dubois, or Dubois, Pennsylvania, a little bit south of Route 80 off 219. A really cool little place, really cool stuff, very happy. I have a bottle of their Bob Barley from 2017 or 18 I'd like to try as well. And this is a big barley wine. This is B is for barley wine, coming in at 12% alcohol by volume, and of course crowlered on 9/29/19. So there you go. Come find your next favorite beer. There we go. And of course independently craft beer, but my favorite part is Brewers of PA. It says it down there. So that's where I'm happy about. So there you go. Hope you guys are enjoying the old but new setup, because some of my new subscribers are not probably used to the dungeon reviews as they used to be back in the day. So let's crack it open. See, it might hiss and piss, I'm not sure. Not too bad. Not too bad. And of course I'm going to use my Box Car Brew Works glass as well. So let's get this in. Chuck it in. Okay. Top it all the way up. Put that back. Give it a little tap. Up to the light. Beautiful amber, caramel, ruby hues. There we go. You might not be able to see the Boxcar logo because of the type of beer it is, but it's a beautiful style, little tiny English pint glass. Very happy about that. Let's get some aromas on it. Okay, soft notes, very soft. You can tell this is a very fresh but potent barley wine, let's say that. It's subtle nuances of caramel, toffee, fig, stewed fruits, a little bit of an earthiness, even a hint of clove in there. A little bit of foliage, a little burnt leaf foliage. A nice little bit of bright pepperiness with that little bit of waft of that 12% ethanol alcohol. If this was in a bottle, maybe even with that clove, maybe even the faintest hit of Astoria anise. Just a little bit. But of course, if this was bottled instead of crowlered, you could set this aside for many, many years, and at 12%, it would get better and better and more savory and more fruit forward as the years go on. But right now, it doesn't smell very boozy, which is nice. Just a little bit of a kick of it. A refreshing kick, So let's get into it. And this is my first beer from Box Car Brew Works. Cheers. That drink's very, very easy for 12%. It's a bit thin, as I say. It's a bit thin. Medium size, a medium body, a little bit of oiliness, but there in the back end it gets a little bit of a watery tone. But there's a little nice oily aspect to the beer. It lets it stick around a little bit. It does really remind me of just a very nice winter warmer. There's a little bit of a lovely earthiness in there. Again, a little bit of a burnt foliage kind of quality in there, burnt leaf note. There is something like a little bit of hint that reminds me pepperiness, earthiness, a little bit of something like a clove and a soft starry anise, very in there. You have the lovely stewed fruits aspect going on, figs, dates, raisins. That will grow in time if this was in a bottle, for example. It's not that sticky, sweet, savory as I like some of my huge old English style barley wines to be. Very molasses, very treacle forward, brown sugar, those kind of tonalities, thick butterscotch and caramel, those kind of qualities. This has a firm yet light caramel body. Hints of something that reminds me of a little brown sugar tonality in there. More of those charred sugars, if you know what I mean. Caramelized sugars, but not full sweet caramel. Playing on that palate. A little bit of hint of something that reminds me of the faintest notes of a baker's chocolate into those tonalities as well. And of course all those beautiful earthy tones and stuff I've already talked about. So it's a really, really easy drinking 12% barley wine. But it tastes more, and this is the thing, it tastes more just like that kind of 7-8% winter warmer that you often get at many breweries around the country and around the world. I don't feel probably that this type of crowler is meant for any type of longevity. I really do feel that the sealable with the little can top crowlers would be something that you'd want to keep something in for a little bit longer. So I do think that's a little bit on the lackluster side as far as like liveliness of the beer and carbonation, stuff like that. So probably should get into my Pilsner, I do believe, and my IPA from these guys probably tonight. Probably get those out of the door because I think these are the ones that are going to be probably the most susceptible to lacking of carbonation. But just to take one from the brewery and drink it that night, you'd be fine. But this is not a bad beer at all. It doesn't really generate a head. Not really generate lacings. Huge alcohol, like from that 12% though. Little sheets of alcohol just nestling me in for the night, which is to be expected. A lot of beers, especially if they don't have a lot of different proteins and thick body complex, they don't really generate a head, especially when they're over a certain percentage. So that's not too much of a shocker. But that is an easy drinking, very, very dangerous, approachable and tasty beer. So that's good. It's not blowing my doors off. It's not kicking up to a lot of those other barley wine standards that I've had. It's definitely a solid interpretation for the style, and it's going to go up a little bit more because of how amazingly drinkable it is, for sure. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for the Box Car Brew Works. Their B is for barley wine. Hey, pretty tasty stuff. So this has been PABrewNews. Cheers.